Hello everyone, this is StrawberryShorty here with my review of Tales of Berseria. So, I played this for the PS4, and should probably say I have a lot of Tales games, but I have not actually really played many of them. I have just such a huge backlog of games. The only Tales game I had beaten previously was Tales of Eternia, which we got here as Tales of Destiny 2. I remember being pretty fond of that game. I always controlled Merity, because, healing arts and all that. I also played a lot of Tales of the World Radiant Mythology, because that's such a fun game. I love all the different outfits. So I went into Tales of Berseria not really knowing much. It's about a teenage girl named Velvet with this strange demonic arm, and she is out for revenge. That's basically all I knew. I did end up getting spoiled on what she wanted revenge for, but I won't mention that here because I was really annoyed that review spoiled that. But so, if you never played a Tales game before, there's a limit on how many items you can carry in terms of like healing items. I'm not super crazy about that. It's because you want to be able to use your healing items whenever you can. And there's combat is more like it's not turn-based, it's more like free-for-all. You can have 4 characters on the screen at once, and they are all just running and attacking, and you control one of them. I controlled, I'll call him the kid, because again, if there's healing happening, I want to be in control of it. I would have controlled Aizen if I had realized sooner he was the one with the revive ability, because that's another ability I really like to have. But so, I don't remember much about how combat was in Tales of Eternia, but I pretty much just recall assigning a specific skill to one of the buttons, like the triangle button, the square button, and then you had these special summoning arts you could do that would heal everyone or do a really powerful water attack. But here it's more like a combo system. You go to the triangle button and you can set up different skills for each time you press it. So the first time you'll do this move, and then if you hit it again immediately, you'll do this with a combo type thing. But this way of doing things I found to be really aggravating. It's fine for characters like Velvet, who are more physical fighters. They fight with characters that fight with punches, kicks, slashes. But for the characters that are casters, like the character I controlled, where they're doing spells that you have to there's a casting time, the combo system really does not work, because you're gonna want to have your healing ability just front and center as the first step of a combo, but then going from healing someone to doing an attack, it just doesn't really work. So I definitely did not care for that at all. Another thing about combat, and I could not figure out a way to turn this off, is it's possible for you to switch characters in and out during combat, which is not a bad feature to have, except that the AI will do it on its own. And like I said, the character Aizen, he has a revive ability, and the AI just kept swapping him out, oh well, his HP is too low, get him out of here. And it's no, that's my reviver, I need him here so he can revive people, and I'd have to switch to that character slot and boot him back in. And you need to spend these I think they're called souls in this game, special in-game battle currency or whatever, to bring the character back. And it just, it got really annoying. Just in general, really did not like this battle system. Every move, well, most moves have a certain type that they're weak against, but you're never gonna remember all that. Battle for me, I mostly did not battle as my character. I just stayed on the sidelines and had a healing spell charged up. But battle is basically just spamming a button over and over and over and just hoping it all kind of works out. And like I did find that sometimes, like again, as the caster, if your cast is interrupted, your cast is interrupted. You can't cast your spell, and that could be like really annoying. Because like, how do you stop that? Like the hardest battles for me were the ones where there was just multiple enemies, because they would just be on you, and it's like, hey, could someone come here and take care of this monster so I can heal? And I just spent so much time like running around the field trying to get out of range from someone who was trying to attack me. And then when you like use items, there's a cooldown period for that too, so you could easily end up getting in over your head. They also did something with like equipment where you could like merge it up or whatever. I had no interest in that. Like I just bought stronger equipment. I never really did the merging thing. There's a cooking mechanic where you can cook food that you can like eat before battles to like up your defense or magic or whatever. And that was just another thing that I never really had much interest in. I've seen a few games do this kind of mechanic, but I just don't care about it. Like, I don't care about keeping the ingredients in stock, and it just never really appealed to me. Let's see, what else can I say? This game has skits where when you're in the overworld and you're just running around or you're talking with someone, like a little skit button will press up, and I do love the skits. I think they're a great way to develop the characters in the world, and they can be funny. It does kind of lead into a problem I had with the story, where like the villain's motivations really confused me. And I also felt that most of the side characters in our party do not get a lot of development. Like, if you want to know the backstory for these characters, you have to really like hunt for it and do these elaborate side quests. And I don't know, like I don't like that. I don't mind a good side quest, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like some of these side quests were just a little too well hidden, and like you'd need to have a guide ready to know that they even existed. Let's see, what else? So yeah, I never used a lot of the special mechanics of this game. I don't know if I have anything more to say in terms of gameplay. I think I mentioned everything that annoyed me. Oh, the costumes. That's something I want to really harp on. Because like most of the games I play don't really have like different costumes you can put on, but that is a feature in this game. The problem is that most of the costumes you can get in game for free suck. Like there's like winter outfits, but it's just the outfits that the NPCs wear, or like they have swimsuits, and it's all just black and white one pieces for every single character. It's the exact same swimsuit. They're not attractive, they're not like color coded, they're just boring. And that's like a reoccurring problem with most of the costumes, is they're just so bland. And like the DLC costumes in comparison I think look much better, but then like if you buy all of the DLC, which is just costumes, the total comes out to over $100. And that, to me, is insane. Like, it feels like they did a poor job with the in-game costumes just to try and force players to buy this DLC, which I cannot get behind. Also, Velvet's outfit, like, I don't understand her outfit at all, and I don't know why she keeps that outfit. Like, I know it's an RPG, people don't have to dress practically, but it's like, how does she dress herself in the mornings? It would take her like 6 hours to get into that thing. So yeah, I did like the characters, getting a little random here, but I did like the characters' personalities. I maintain that the game could have done a better job of telling their respective arcs, but I did like them. They were all fairly enjoyable. I don't think the villains were done nearly as well. For a lot of the villains, it felt like there was this whole backstory that we weren't really getting. And I'm trying to decide if I want to jump into spoilers to talk about that. Like, give my general thoughts. this was not a bad game. It had like really good characters, really good voice acting, a lot of good moments. I did have some story issues. I hated the combat. I didn't like all of the extra stuff you could do related to the combat, like the cooking and the forging and merging and all that. It just didn't interest me. The other criticism I have of this game, I would say, is I kind of found it too depressing. Like, it was just so much sadness happening for so many people, and it's like, oh my gosh, can we have like one happy thing happen in this game? Like, yeah, it's just so grim, you know, picking up with this girl who's been trapped in this prison, and she's like filthy and tattered clothes and just filled with so much hatred. It's depressing. I'm just, yeah. So, okay, let's get into spoilers. I kind of hate Arthur. Like, I feel they could have done him so much better. Like, first of all, even before I read the spoilers, they have Velvet saying she wants to get revenge against him. And it's like, if you've ever played an RPG before and you start the game as Velvet and her happy life, it's just like, well, this is going to go south really fast. These people are dead. And, like, yeah. But I actually thought Laphicet was going to live, because I thought the blonde kid in the anime intro was Laphicet. I mean, it kind of is Laphicet, but not that Laphicet. So when they say that there's a him that she wants revenge on, it's obviously Arthur, because who else would it be? There's not really any other important male characters in a position to betray her. I feel like they should have had like Arthur have like a close friend to serve as a red herring or something. And then like the whole thing with Arthur sacrificing Laphicet, like, okay, that's fine. He had his reasons. Laphicet had his reasons. I do think they should have told Velvet, because like, just everything you could have avoided if you had done that. And then like Laphicet's whole reason for like sacrificing himself was so that Velvet could be happy, and then Arthur locks her in a prison with no human contact and no like showers or normal food for like 3 years, and it's like, yeah, this is what Laphicet wanted. That makes perfect sense. It's just so horrible, and I do feel legitimately bad for Velvet. I wouldn't say she's a character I necessarily like. I do think she's in many ways well done, but she's just so filled with hatred. I would say probably my favorite characters were Aizen, because Aizen is just so funny. Like, I love how he just rambles on about stuff. And I also really like Laphicet. Like, my favorite scene in the game is when Laphicet just punches a Nominat right in the face. Because, like, we all wanted to, right? That was the other thing. The thing with a Nominat is, like, I feel like it's, like, is it supposed to be Laphicet, like, really? Or is it like a reincarnation of Laphicet? Or is a Nominat just using Laphicet's image? I don't think that was ever really clearly, like, established. The one thing I do think, though, is that it's not Laphicet. Like, even if he has Laphicet's memories, he has no connection to them. I kind of think it would have been a better twist if that had actually been Laphicet. Like, he was reborn as a Nominat, but he was still himself. And that he genuinely did become disgusted by his sister's actions. Like, I wouldn't have him act as nasty as he does towards her, but I would still have him being, like, really just like judgy, like, this isn't what I wanted, because instead he just goes so over the top with it, and like the whole time I'm seeing this, I'm like, you're clearly not Laphicet. Like, nothing about how you behave is how Laphicet would behave. And it's just it. And then the ending was a real downer as well. like they're just gonna sleep forever, and then like everyone's gonna cover up the truth, like, oh yeah, Arthur was this great shepherd and the Lord of Calamity, and it's like, can we stop lying to the people? Like, let's just be honest. Because, like, I feel like if we lie to them, it's only going to come back and bite us down the line. So I should talk about the other characters, too. So, like, Rokuro, I was never a big fan of Rokuro. I don't like his design. I thought the concept of his issue with Shigure was interesting, where you know, you have this guy who really wants to kill someone, but if you really look at it, Rokuro's the villain in that. Like, Shigure didn't, from what I can tell, didn't actually do anything. Rokuro was jealous and basically told lies to get him, like, targeted. But I also think the game doesn't really focus on that enough, and Shigure himself doesn't feel like much of a character. Like, we don't see enough of him. Eleanor, I don't think they really did enough with. Like I said, Aizen I liked, but I would have liked them to really follow up on the whole, like, luck aspect and, you know, like, have him decide to just make his own luck or whatever. It just felt like there was never any real closure for that. I know that Tales of Vesperia follows up a little bit, but, like, I want closure in this game. And Magilu was probably the big one where you really have to, like, search for her backstory. And yeah, I didn't care for that. I didn't care for the legates. They were so boring as characters. And then they tried to do that thing with, like, Oscar and Teresa, and it's like, don't you feel sorry for them? And it's like, no. Like, I mean, it sucks, but, like, they weren't good people. You can't tell me they were good people. Like, okay, Teresa loves her brother. That's very nice. But they were still taking part in some really horrible stuff. It's a bit too late to suddenly ask me to feel sorry for them. And I think because of that, it kind of made Velvet's little mental breakdown over having killed someone's brother, doing what Arthur did to her, like, it just didn't make it work as well. Because it's like, yes, you killed someone's brother and deeply upset them, but Laphicet was an innocent, sick 12-year-old murdered by a man you trusted, and Oscar is a bad guy. Like, I know he's not, like, the worst person ever, but he's still not a good guy. Like, he's trying to do bad things. And you stopped him. Like, it's not exactly the same thing. Also, why is this game called Tales of Berseria? Like, what does the Berseria refer to? Like, I know, what was it, Vesperia had, like, a whole thing about why it was called Vesperia. I don't know why this game is called Berseria. What does Berseria refer to? Like, somebody tell me. Oh, and the whole thing with Arthur wanting to enslave humanity basically was really stupid. Like, he's like, oh, I want to create a peaceful world. And it's like, are you dumb? Like, do you not see all the problems this would create? And then, like, when they do, like, a little test run and, like, all the old people are, like, trying to kill themselves and people are murdering their sick children, and it's like, yeah, you don't see a problem with this? Like, also, I swear, like, one of the hardest fights in the game, except for the fights against that Phoenix guy and the evil reflector super beast monster thingy, was the battle with Arthur and Anominat, because, again, just having to fight two characters and you're just running around trying to heal. Did not care for that. But, oh, like, it's... I watched a Let's Play of Tales of Vesperia, and I wasn't really into it. My overall thought was, this isn't a bad game, but I don't think it's a game for me. And I would say that's probably how I feel about Berseria. Like, I can't call it a bad game because there's a lot of quality to it, a lot of good things about it. I just can't say I really enjoyed it all that much. Also, that bonus dungeon sucks. It's terrible. But, like, I have a lot of other Tales games on the roster that I plan to play. I'm still kind of trying to work through Zestiria, which may actually have a worse combat system than Berseria in some ways. Yeah, I also have, I have Tales of the Abyss, I have Tales of Legendia, Tales of Symphonia. I don't think I have Tales of Destiny, actually. I wish we'd get, like, the remake or re-release or whatever that they did for, like, PS2. But anyway, this video has gone on long enough. I think this review was a little rambly. Sorry about that. I've been trying to, like, write out my reviews, but sometimes I can kind of do it better rambling. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the review, what you thought of the game. Who's your favorite character? And I'll see you all next time. Bye.